Wicked 2. Why the flying monkeys will work for Elphaba after being her enemies. The future of the flying monkeys is one of the biggest questions after the end of the first Wicked movie, and here's why they will start working for Elphaba in Wicked, for good after being her enemies. The flying monkeys are one of the most famous pieces of iconography associated with the Wicked Witch of the West, with them constantly being by her side in most versions of The Wizard of Oz. However, by the time the first Wicked movie ends, they seem to still be fighting against her, with this change being a major story point in Wicked, for good. The first Wicked movie is only an adaptation of Act 1 of the incredibly popular Broadway musical, with the upcoming sequel Wicked, for good set to adapt Act 2. At the end of the first Wicked movie, Elphaba has finally realized the evil plans of the wizard and Madame Morrible, with her singing Defying Gravity and flying away from the Emerald City. While this is an epic conclusion to Act 1, there is still a lot of story for Wicked, for good to cover, with it further fleshing out the identity of the Wicked Witch of the West. Wicked makes the flying monkeys enemies for Elphaba. Despite being the friends of the Wicked Witch in most adaptations of Oz stories, the flying monkeys start out as enemies of Elphaba in Wicked. This is because the monkeys are the subjects of Elphaba's first ever spell from the Grimoire. The monkeys started out as regular apes, with them being the servants of the Wizard of Oz. Elphaba's first spell, however, causes one flying monkey to sprout wings, turning it into a flying monkey. Soon after, this happens to the rest of the flying monkeys, turning them into powerful foes. Since the flying monkeys are still under the command of the wizard, they are antagonistic to Elphaba. The wizard originally wanted Elphaba to give the flying monkeys their wings so that they could be used as spies. However, the wings also made them far more dangerous, with the wizard using them to attack Elphaba near the end of the film. The flying monkey scene at the end of Wicked is by far the most horrifying scene in the film, ending with Elphaba and the flying monkeys having some bad blood despite their future friendship. Elphaba will befriend the flying monkeys in Wicked 2. Although things don't look great now, Elphaba will actually befriend the flying monkeys in Wicked, for good. Act 2 of the musical briefly touches on why the flying monkeys switch sides. Shortly after Bach is transformed into the Tin Man, Elphaba returns to the Emerald City, with her hoping to free the wizard's flying monkeys. However, she is caught by the wizard, foiling her plans. Despite this, the wizard decides to let the flying monkeys go free as a sign of goodwill, with him hoping to win Elphaba back over due to this action. Shortly after this, however, Elphaba discovers that Dr. Dillamond has fully lost his ability to speak, reigniting her hatred for the wizard and Madame Morrible. This causes her to continue her war against the Emerald City, with the newly freed flying monkeys now being on her side. Elphaba's army of flying monkeys has a huge role in increasing her influence, but it also adds to her notorious reputation, with them quickly becoming associated with the Wicked Witch of the West. Wicked's animal storyline set up Elphaba and the flying monkeys team up. Wicked, for good, won't just be having Elphaba and the flying monkeys team up for the sake of explaining the world of the Wizard of Oz, as Wicked's animal storyline already set this up. Throughout Wicked, it is made clear that Elphaba really cares about animals. Whether it be her actions with the young cowardly lion, or her turning against the wizard due to his crusade against animals, it is clear that the treatment of animals in the Land of Oz is a major motivator for Elphaba's character. Thus, it makes sense that Elphaba would befriend the flying monkeys. The flying monkeys are another species of animals that have been persecuted in the world of Wicked, with them having been the minions of the wizard for a long time. Thus, Elphaba bringing the flying monkeys in after the wizard sets them free is perfectly set up for Wicked, for good, paying off this major Wicked storyline.